parties are the hottest ticket around.
They won't even give me a permit for the parties, man. They don't want me to throw the parties no more. But we ain't gonna stop. We gonna keep on having fun, bringing people together from all walks of life. You're gonna hear about my party. They're gonna be shutting them down. They're gonna probably be arresting me, doing all types of crazy things just because we want to have a good time. You know, whenever you bring up a different element into people's environment, things that broaden people's horizon, people get intimidated. There's a lot of people out there that feel intimidated by it. It ain't nothing but break it down, racial barriers, break it down.
We have obtained video of Diddy's arrest on Monday night. And I have to say, he was blindsided, completely surprised as he walked into the Park Hyatt Hotel in Midtown Manhattan with a whole entourage. That's him in the black trench coat. And the two guys in the white shirt, they are feds. And they very politely escort him. Mr. Combs, please come this way. I'm imagining was how the conversation went. And you can see them walking him through the hotel to an elevator. He's already cuffed at this point. So that means they cuffed him pretty quickly after the lobby. We know they went up to the room and they actually raided the room and searched the room. There were things that they obtained there. And then they walk him out. And interestingly, this is in Manhattan, Midtown Manhattan. And you see people walking back and forth. They did a perp walk. I mean, essentially, they walked Diddy in handcuffs right out the front of this hotel. It's really shocking because nobody got video from the street. Right. And it's Diddy, and he's in cuffs. Remember, much like nobody knew that this was going to happen. Diddy didn't know it was going to happen. No, I know. That was, very evident in this video. And, you know, we told you before that the plan was always for him to be in New York, to turn himself in, voluntarily surrender Tuesday. And for whatever reason, the feds changed their mind and went after him Monday night. So the full context here of him walking into the hotel, you see the whole group that's with him. We had seen video and photos of him moments before this, walking around New York City, stopping, talking to fans, taking photos and selfies with people. So he's carefree at that moment because he was out less than an hour before he got arrested. His understanding was that he was going to turn himself in on Tuesday. So he's having a carefree evening, walks into the hotel with his friends and his entourage. He's got to be totally shocked and blindsided. What's interesting here is, as you said, he was planning to surrender anyway. So what information caused it to be moved up? Right. The timeline to be moved up. There was ecstasy found in his room. And there's maybe a thought that he was planning one last. This case revolves around freak-offs. Maybe there was one last freak-off. No, we're going to get into that, but no, because they didn't know what was in his room because they weren't there. And even if he did have drugs there, it doesn't affect whether he voluntarily surrenders or not. So two things. One is that his lawyer believes the reason they did this and accelerated it was because if he voluntarily surrendered, it would hurt their case to make for no bail because he wouldn't be as much of a flight risk. Here's what I'm wondering about that I don't quite understand. They searched his room. Typically, you need a search warrant. Did they get a search warrant in advance, or did they just walk in the room and happen to see the ecstasy? And why did they take him up to the room in the first place? Well, that's what I can't figure out. The first agent, when he as he walks into the lobby, the first agent who pops out has a clipboard in his hand. Right. To me, that means a search warrant. It's either a search warrant, or what? Or he's taking it up to the room to take inventory of what they're going to. You can't do that. Room. You cannot do that without a search warrant. So what I don't know. I agree with you that it seems that they had a search warrant. Or could it be the arrest warrant that they're showing? But even if it's an arrest warrant, it doesn't give you the right to search the hotel room. Right. So I'm really puzzled by this because, unless there were drugs in plain view, they would have to get a warrant. But why would a judge issue a warrant when he was going to voluntarily surrender? And that's what doesn't make sense to me. I don't get it. It's interesting. Maybe they had some actionable information that what is on that clipboard. Maybe it is a search warrant. Maybe they knew something was going to go down that evening and they had to take action immediately. What? Or it's exactly what Diddy's lawyers are theorizing it is, that this was just to make him. But if you're right, I don't understand why they would be entitled to get a warrant showing probable cause a crime was committed that involves the hotel room. Let me throw this out to you. They knew that he was in town. He'd been in town for how many days? 5 days at this point? Yeah. You don't think that the feds were watching him? That there wasn't surveillance on him the whole time? But they knew he was in town.
But they didn't bring anything up at the bail hearing. And if he was doing something untoward...
Well, they did bring up the fact that they found... Well,
after the fact. But I'm saying, if you're right that they got a warrant because of something they saw, they would have brought that up at the bail hearing.
Right.
And they didn't. So I'm really puzzled. I'm really puzzled by this.
What up with it, y'all? It's Coffee back at it, man. And you see everything going on, everything Diddy all throughout the news, the old clips there. They're saying Diddy predicted his arrest all the way back in '99, man. The way they love to spin stuff with the different narratives. I mean, listen, who knows what was really going on at all these parties? You know what I'm saying? Were these alleged freak off parties? And I'm not sticking up for Diddy or Nathan like that at all. I'm just saying, man, the media is having a lot of fun with all this right now, man, digging up in the archives and everything, you know, where Diddy was speaking about he was trying to break down racial barriers and bring people together, and, you know, people get intimidated by different elements of lifestyles and partying and such that others aren't accustomed to, you know what I mean? And we've heard about, the guest list at a lot of these parties. As you see, some pictures are going back viral. These are from 98, 99, Diddy's white parties that he would have in the Hamptons. Everyone would dress in all white and everything. And you see him spraying champagne from above. The way they're describing it is he lorded above the party, like, you know, he was the king and that was his kingdom or whatever, and women were topless and he showered them with champagne. And we're seeing Leonardo DiCaprio, David Blaine, Chevy Chase, Regis Philbin, Vera Wang, you know, among many others. And there was all this talk, if y'all didn't hear, about Usher. You know, a ton of stuff getting deleted from his social network, and a lot of people are theorizing that a lot of celebs that were ever around Diddy are in fear of the feds, that they could be pulled into this investigation in some way, and, you know, that they're going to be doing cleanup on their social networks as well. I want to know what y'all think about all this. If you think Diddy is going down like Nino Brown, or he has a shot, you know, to go toe-to-toe with the feds and beat this case. As you see, I was unaware of this with the arrest footage, that he was going to turn himself in, and the feds came and snatched him up a day early and found ecstasy. You know, what do y'all think about that? Do you guys think that that was indeed a play by the feds to say, Your Honor, we need no bail? You know what I mean? He's a flight risk, etc. Or, you know, I believe from the reports that I saw, they were saying, as they dug up old text messages from women, you know, who said they were victimized by Diddy, where he was threatening them and such, is you know, witness tampering is what I've seen, why they said that they pushed for no bail. So what do y'all think about that? You know, the way they snatched him up a day early when he planned to turn himself in. Do you guys think they just wanted to catch him lacking, as they did find him with some ecstasy in his room? And, you know, you heard all the theorizing back and forth by the TMZ staff about all that. You know, jump in the comments with your thoughts about all this and these old clips and the pictures from the white parties and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Do you guys believe that these parties and these freak off parties that we're hearing of are two totally separate things? You know, like, there's so many questions going on right now, as Diddy just got snatched up. And I'm telling y'all, I've been saying from Jump Street, Diddy's catching a Fed case, which he definitely has. You know, do you guys think at this point he stands a chance? What do you guys think about the play that the feds did with all that? Are you shocked no one on the street snatched up any footage of Diddy being arrested? That's pretty shocking, man. That really is, right? Like they said, this Midtown Manhattan, he's essentially being perp walked right out to the vehicle to be taken away into federal custody, and no one out there recorded anything. I couldn't believe it, man. But I don't know if y'all saw this other clip that's going around. Legendary Harlem icon in the fashion world, Dapper Dan, who knows Diddy well. He knows Diddy's parents. He's 80 years old. This dude been around. There's this clip. Let's see what he was talking about.
So the question is, what do you think about the whole Puff Daddy situation that's going on right now?
Okay. Once you listen to this carefully, I grew up with Puff Daddy's parents. Yeah. So, we all come from home. One had raised killed. No matter what happens in the culture, it didn't just start. Alright? No matter what happens in the culture, it didn't just start. A lot of things that you see happen came about from not even from my generation, but the generation that came before me. And just that. A lot of the things that's happening today, because of social media, everybody gets to know about it.
All right, so y'all heard Dapper Dan. What do you guys take from that? He says, listen, whatever you hear of going on and such, this is nothing new, right? Social media has put eyes where eyes weren't before, where people are seeing things that they wouldn't see back in the day. You know what I mean? Like, social network has really opened things up where you see footage from everywhere, and different, like, you guys remember when Jay-Z was talking about when he was in the streets, as it's like different logic, but same idea in a sense, where he said, when we were talking about Instagram, last thing we wanted was our picture snap, I don't know, just interesting to hear what Dapper Dan's saying there. Like, he's like, yo, I know Diddy's parents. A lot of this stuff been going on for generations way before. Is he just speaking of people getting wild and partying, or is he talking about, because he's a fashion icon. This dude had a deal with Gucci, collab with Gucci, you know what I'm saying? A fashion designer out of Harlem, changed the game, right? Maybe he's seen some things ritualistic of nature, you know what I mean, with the elites and such. I don't know, like, what do y'all make of it all thus far with this update into the Diddy case, what Dapper Dan said, the feds, all that? Let's talk about it all in the comments. Subscribe, stay tuned for updates. It's Coffee signing out, y'all. Peace.